Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Today's video is going to be an episode on what's the easiest way to plant potatoes. And for me, I'm going to show it how to plant the easiest way to plant potatoes. And the first thing you want to do is obviously pick a spot. So my recommendation is to pick a spot with the less amount of rocks and where your tomatoes did not grow last year. That's probably the two main factors. And those are the biggest factors because tomatoes and potatoes share the same diseases. So if there's a tomato disease in the ground where the tomatoes grew last year, the potatoes will catch it and die early, producing a weak crop. And the rocks will form deformed potatoes as the potatoes push against, as they grow, the rocks will push against them and there will be holes, weird dents in the potatoes, and it won't be too pleasing. Also, the roots will have a harder time to go through. And the next thing you want to do is not grow your potatoes in soil. Not to grow your potatoes in clay soil, because I grew them last year right here. It's the worst soil in the garden. I got a really bad harvest. This soil right here is loose, fertile. Even though it's this far away, it's a big difference in such a small place garden. And last year there used to be beans over there, so it's nitrogen already fixed into the ground since beans produce more nitrogen. They produce nitrogen with their roots, add nitrogen to the soil, and first, what you want to do is kind of till the soil. If you have a tiller, you might want to use that for a bigger space. But if you have a small space, just use a pitchfork right here and just flip the ground inside out and make it a little bit looser. That will make the roots go further deep and much more better for potato production. The next thing I recommend doing, guys, is to fertilize your soil with some organic fertilizer. The reason for organic is a way to grow, because if you put in chemicals into the soil that are synthetic, then the soil will not regenerate and it will be unhealthy. It might help the first year, but the second and the third it will grow more and more unhealthy. So organic is the way to go. And what I'm using here is manure, which is manure, and which is cow manure, and you can see this is very fertile. And I don't need a lot of this, so I just mix it in with that soil, 2 bags. And the reason for that is if you use too much of this compost, then the potatoes inside the ground might develop scab from the manure, and that might lead to also some diseases, which scab is a certain type of disease. So only a little bit of this is a way to go. Another thing that you should use is just fish emulsion every 2 weeks or every 3 weeks, depending on how rich your soil is. And that is a reason to give it nitrogen boost, phosphorus boost, and potassium boost, and that will give you more potatoes. So that is the basic needs for fertilization and soil preparation. Again, guys, this video is going to be quick. It's not going to be a full-on growing guide on how to grow potatoes, because it's just, for me, this is going to be the method that I always use, and I usually get good harvests, except that last year where I grew them there. About a year ago, 2 years ago, I grew them there. Bountiful harvest, such big potatoes I never had. So I think it works, and it should work for you too. So the next thing that you will want is sunlight. Sun. So you could see, I don't really want to show it, but the sun's further up there in the sky. Obviously it's in the sky. It wouldn't be in the ground. It wouldn't make any sense. But it's in the sky, and it's shaded a little bit by the garage, that part, and it keeps creeping that way throughout the day. And then also the fence shade keeps creeping throughout the day as the sun goes from east to west. And the east is there, and the west is on that side. It rises over there. So today you can see it's a beautiful day. I mean, just look at that, without a cloud, 60 degrees, perfect day for planting potatoes. And talking about temperature brings me to the point that potatoes grow best in 50 to 70 degree temperatures. So make sure you plant them early on in the spring after your first frost, or even a couple weeks before your first frost. Nothing will happen to them. They're pretty hardy crops. So now what you guys want to do is simply just loosen up the soil again after you mix in your fertilizer and you mix in all your blood meal, bone meal, all your organic amendments. You just want to crack up, see, because I mixed up the soil and what I got is still clumps. I don't know if you can see that. This is not even a tripod, this is a makeshift tripod, but you can see there's just clumps of soil. I don't know if you can see that, but so I just like crack them up into smaller pieces, and yeah, that's pretty much the way to go. This is the best way to do it, the fastest way to do it, unless you have a tiller or a plow. In in a big field. And then once you're done with that, what I recommend doing is going with the rakes that are metal, not the one that you rake leaves with, but garden rakes. And you just single out the big from the small. So you can see there's already, the big ones stay right here and the small ones go over there, the small pieces of clay or soil, whatever you want to describe it as. So I think that is the way to do it, and I'll show you guys the end result. I just want to take a quick video of how it looks before I rake it and how it looks after. So this is before and this is how it looks after. You can see the soil is finer. It may not be that big of a difference on camera, especially on an iPhone. This isn't a professional camera, but I don't have one, but you can see it definitely does make the soil seem looser more, and all the big chunks are over there of the soil, so a lot looser. You can just dig in pretty much right in. And now let's get to planting potatoes. The next step, guys, is to pick your potato varieties. As you can see, the reason I am growing Yukon Gold potatoes, they're the white, yellow potatoes, and they're golden as the name indicates inside. The reason for this, I'm growing them because they are very good. I like them. That is one reason. Our whole family likes them. Plus, they pretty much grow in all climates, whether it's hot or cold. So our summers here in Chicago are very unpredictable. So these are very good, reliable potatoes that will grow no matter what. The next reason I will be choosing, the next variety I'll be choosing is red Lesotho. And these are this main reason why I'm choosing it, because they're red and they're big and they grow in pretty much all sorts types of soils. And the reason is because this year we're supposed to expect a above average temperature summer, so these grow well in heat. So I'm pretty sure both of these will do fine this year. And now I'll show you the actual seed potatoes. Alright guys, so these are the potatoes. You can see they are slightly red. If I go right here, you can see they're still a pinkish color, but once they get old they turn brown and they start developing spuds, or I should say sprouts, and these are called spuds. And now a lot of people cut their potatoes open, and that really just depends for me based on how many potatoes I have. Generally, the rule of thumb is if a potato is larger than an egg, you should cut it. You can see this is about the size of an egg, so I'd leave this. However, this potato is much larger than an egg, so I'll cut it, leaving about 2 sprouts per slice. That is a rule of thumb, about two sprouts per slice. So if there's about 10 sprouts on a potato, you could do 5 cuts. You could get 5 mini cut potatoes from it, I guess, if you want to call it that way. Now, when it comes to planting, and this video is obviously about the easiest way to plant, in my opinion, the easiest way to plant is not in rows, but in holes. And I don't know if you can see that because there's a shade, but this hole goes fairly deep. This is about a half a foot deep, if not even more. And the reason I do it in holes, not rows, is because single holes make you let you dig deeper than single rows. Single rows, it's much harder to do a single row that is 7 or 8 inches deep. Single holes, it's much easier. And also you could go deeper, and once you go deeper, you don't need to hill the potatoes. So what I do is take a potato, sprouts up, I don't know if you can see that, sprouts up, not down, towards the sun, and you cover it up with the soil that you just dug up the hole with. And what I always say to people is that this is the easiest way, because then once you plant them so deep, you don't need to hill them up. They will just already be pretty much automatically hilled, and they will develop potatoes on the side. So that is basically it, guys. Once you plant the potatoes, you just need to water them and you're pretty much done. Hello everybody, you could see my shadow. It's a beautiful day. It's sunny outside. I don't really want to show you the sun because it would ruin the camera. But you can see that the potatoes are planted. Everything is ready for growth. I just watered it, and it's just beautiful. I just love gardening. Hopefully you guys enjoy it as much as I do. Hopefully this video helps you a lot, and I just really do this to help people out. I mean, I just want people to know, to have the knowledge what I have, which isn't much, but it's helpful. I mean, I think now you know how to plant potatoes easier, or at least you have an idea if you had no idea how to. So please consider liking this video, and if you don't, tell me why in the comment section below so I can improve on this video. Please subscribe to my channel, and see you guys in the next episode.